We're pleased to be joined on the line by Jim DeRogatis. No journalist has done more to bring R. Kelly's crimes to light than Jim DeRogatis, the veteran journalist. His book is called Soulless: The Case Against R. Kelly. Jim, your reaction to the sentence today?
Well, it's mixed. I mean, 20 years additional, but consecutive and only 1 year to be served after the sentence in New York. It's kind of an insult to the prosecution that laid out a tremendous amount of very harrowing evidence. Those videos, anyone who saw them will never forget them. And, the main victim from the 2008 case, her life was ruined. The victim impact statements were incredibly powerful. I think Judge Leinenweber is sending a message that the federal government from the beginning should have consolidated the cases, the Chicago federal case and the Brooklyn federal case, into one case. But you have to still look at it. No one in the history of popular music, where men have been mistreating women for a very long time, has ever been sentenced to life in prison effectively, as Kelly is.
Jim, we heard from Lenita Carter, and we know that there are other victims who were a part of the Cook County cases that State's Attorney Kim Foxx dropped. Even with this sentence today, they are expressing that frustration. They feel that justice will not be served on their behalf. I know you were so in touch with the victim's voice. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know how the dozens of victims who were never heard in court, not in New York, not in Chicago, how they ever feel like they will have justice. There are, 69 women whose names I know. We heard from a total of about 25 and 2 young men in these 2 federal cases. The damage this man wrought over 30 years, because his abuse goes from 1991 until the day he was arrested in 2019, has left so many bodies, ruined lives, the female victims, of course, and their families in his wake. I don't think Chicago has even begun to grapple with the enormity of his crimes, but 31 years in prison is a heck of a sentence, even if it only was 1 additional year added in Chicago.
Jim, you did extensive reporting on this long before charges were brought against R. Kelly. Why did it take so long?
You know this, my friend. Black women don't matter. This is what I heard again and again and again from these young victims. Very first victim who stepped forward, Tiffany Hawkins, initially went to the Cook County State's Attorney, and they had no interest in pressing a case in criminal court all the way back in '96, and so she turned to the civil courts. I'm just amplifying those voices from the Black community who told me again and again, we were young Black girls who cared.
In this sentence, Jim, is there a broader message? We talked about what the federal government is trying to say at large, but to the victims, to people, to anyone who might have interacted with him, what does 31 years say?
Well, I think, what I have heard from those who testified, who spoke to me, not all of them did, is they're glad they were finally believed in a court of law. The many others who were never heard on the stand, have mixed feelings. But I think everybody should take a deep breath and, as I said, realize that no predator in the history of popular music, entertainment in general, has ever, faced effectively a life sentence in prison, 31 years. He's 56 today. If they give him a time served already, he's still got like 27 years to go.
Jim DeRogatis, we thank you for all the work that you've done, and we thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Jim.
Of course.
Thank you, Jim.